What's up guys, it's Phil, and it's time for another update. So, Today is October 1st, which means I'm officially starting my Thanksgiving push. Now that usually means dining tables, and last year that meant a ton of dining tables, but this year I actually got a lot of orders for other things, including some built-ins, so that's going to be weird. That's going to push my schedule off a little bit, so I didn't push too heavily on the dining tables, but I am getting people that want dining tables like now. And unfortunately I can't guarantee Thanksgiving delivery at this point because we're too close. We're within 7 weeks of Thanksgiving. And I have a 6 to 8 week delivery, so that's not going to happen. In the future, I'm working on a business plan that I can start putting out tables within 1 week of ordering to delivery, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in another video as I kind of flesh out that idea. For now, I've got to go into production mode and I've got to start batching out these tables as well as building these other obscure projects that I have. So I spent a little bit of time this weekend cleaning up this shop, got it to this point, and then I am going to continue cleaning this, clean out my finishing room so that I have a lot more room and floor space to actually do work, and I'm going to be building a new lumber rack. Now the design is going to be based off of a design by the Wood Whisperer, and I was actually inspired to build this by April Wilkerson. I saw on her channel that she had done this rack or a rack similar to this, and so I am going to do the same kind of style myself. It's a pretty simple concept, so I'm not actually following the plans. I'm just using what I've seen on YouTube to make my own version of these plans. But I want to give credit where credit is due because it looks like an awesome system, and if it works out as well as I think it's going to be 1,000 times better than the garbage little corbels that I put up there that can only hold so much wood, versus I think I'll be able to fill this whole wall with wood, which will really, really help. I've got a lot of things going on, but I don't have the time and money to do them all right now. So I'm going to get started. I'm finishing up a built-in, the big built-in that ended my last video. I'm actually painting those doors and finishing those up today. A little behind the scenes for you. My projects always overlap, therefore my videos usually overlap as well. But I'm going to be getting those finished up today, installing some extra shiplap that the customer ordered at the last second, and get that thing done and then get started on all of this crap. So I'm going to start painting, and then I'm going to start or continue cleaning, get organized, get going, and get pushing towards that Thanksgiving goal. So let's go. With that, this project is done. It did not take me very long. Obviously, cutting and drilling and installing the studs wasn't really bad at all, and then making all of these pieces was super easy. I decided not to do the taper. I did it on the center rack to give me a little bit more room in between, but really it's not necessary. The top rack and the bottom rack are square, and that's just an aesthetic thing. I just did it for speed. So this thing turned out really cool. It's gonna probably hold a lot of weight, which I'm really hoping for. The top rack is going to be used mostly for like barn wood and pieces that need to dry and acclimate in here for a long time. But across the middle, I really do a lot of like pine and then like studs and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and get to work, but this looks pretty awesome. I'm going to finish cleaning out the main shop, call it a day. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Whoa! High five. You did it. Good job. Say excuse me.
Excuse me.
Freeze right there. Good girl. Ready? I did it! Back here. Back here. Behind me. Hands on the sawhorse. Last one. Last one. You ready? You want to do it?
No.
No? Okay. Good job, Daddy.
Good job, Daddy.
Alright, it's Saturday, the end of week 1. I got really nothing accomplished this week. The one thing I was able to do was work on my poultry for one of the clients that I've currently got for my Thanksgiving push. I decided on this video I'm not really going to complain a whole lot about time and being behind and all that kind of stuff, because that seems to just be the story of my life right now. And I don't want that to be all of my updates. So just understand I'm probably behind. But the whole point of doing this Thanksgiving push is to get myself ahead of schedule, or at least back on schedule, and get to a point where I'm able to just kind of relax a little bit as we go into the Christmas season. So I normally don't work on Saturdays, but it's a nice overcast day. My wife has something going on, so my daughter and I are out here just kind of taking care of stuff. I got the stove pipes put on my stove and got all that fixed up, so I've got a creosote log in there right now trying to eliminate all the creosote and soot and whatnot that's built up in there. We were just shooting some cans because the dump won't take spray paint cans that aren't punctured, so she and I are out here shooting those cans, and right now she's just playing in the leaves with the cat, so just basically having a good time today, getting myself ready for next week. It's supposed to be much cooler weather, which is going to be awesome because I love it during fall when it's nice and crisp and cool out here. I can have a fire going and I can just really put my head down and get to work. So officially, now I'm going to get started on my Thanksgiving push. Good news is I actually got 2 orders for dining tables and 2 orders for built-ins this last week. So that's really cool. I'm super stoked on that. Actually, one of them is an extra large dining table. It's 13 foot long, and she ordered a set, a 13 foot and a 6 foot. So I'm really excited about that one. Check out my Instagram if you want to see the progress on that one as I go. But right now, I'm going to be pushing towards Thanksgiving and hopefully getting a whole bunch of these things done and getting back on track. So I'm gonna enjoy my weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. It's Monday. I'm congested. Super awesome. Kind of glad I didn't have any consultations or anything today, because after hanging out here with my daughter on Saturday morning, I've been knocked out for days. But one thing I did manage to get done was this pedestal table. Now this thing's really cool. I don't have a bandsaw, like a big, floor bandsaw that I can cut this big giant piece with. So instead I built it using trim and other pieces and kind of building it up. So it turned out really cool. It's not the exact design that the client wanted. Once I got started going, I kind of forgot the sample photos that she'd sent me, and so I'm gonna send her these photos and hope she likes it. If not, I'm sure somebody else will buy it. It's a cool piece. So I'm gonna finish working on that. I've got some barn doors to build. That's really all I'm doing today, so probably just update you guys tomorrow. All right, so I am still congested. I am heading into Franklin. I have got to pick up some wood, some supplies for my current project, and I need to drop off some skateboards at Franklin Road, but also I need to go pick up this old Mustang hood. I've got a guy that he found this thing and was just giving it away. I thought, well, I could use that for a project. So I can probably do something cool with that. So I'm gonna go pick that up and then go on into downtown and get what I need and go from there. been tough. As you can hear, I've been sick this entire week, and when I get sick, I get sick. Like I was knocked out every night, not good. But I tried to work as much as I could, so I got a bunch of stuff done this week, but nothing was done to completion. Which means I'm not going to be making any deliveries on Friday, which is when I normally do make my deliveries and stuff like that. So I know I'm not going to get paid this week, which sucks. But to make up for that, I am going to go ahead and go do a project today. So I've got the pedestal table mostly done. I still need to veneer a little bit of oak onto it, and I'm waiting for my wood guy to come and deliver the oak for the top that he was supposed to deliver on Tuesday, and it's now Thursday, and he said he might get here this evening or Friday morning. So I can't build the top for that, which sucks. And then I've got a bunch of lumber to start on some other tables, but I don't want to start another tabletop and just run out of room in my shop. I've got this barn door and 2 barn doors outside that are getting painted, so I need to paint those through the weekend, get all the coats of paint on them, get them looking nice and ready to hang, hopefully on Monday, if not Tuesday. And then the hall tree, who's going to the same client, that thing's ready to go. So I'm pretty much there, and with that, I'm at a stopping point, and since I don't want to fill this shop up completely with unfinished projects, I'm going to actually go and do a one-day project, which actually really is only going to take me a couple of hours. I'm going to build some doggy gates for someone's front door. Hopefully this will just be an afternoon project. Last time I did one of these, it barely took me a couple of hours, so I'm hoping to do the same thing again today. So I'm going to go do that, make a couple bucks, and call it a day. It is now Wednesday night. I have gotten a lot done this week. I've got another dining table started behind me. I've got a dining table almost done in there. All the barn doors, the hall tree, and the pedestal table are all done and ready to go. Here's the problem. Nobody wants to take delivery. Now, these are people that I set stuff up with and everybody's been real antsy. When am I getting my project? When am I getting my project? And now they're done. And nobody's home. Nobody's ready for their projects, which is fine. My room is empty right now. Well, actually, it's full of finished projects right now, but it's not like I'm really hurting for space at this moment. So I'm not really too concerned with that, but it is a little irritating because that also means that I'm not getting paid for anything this week. I have one client with the bed swing that I'm waiting on hearing back from, and if they're available to take delivery, that would be great. I'm going to do that Friday morning. I'm right in the middle of my Thanksgiving push, and that's awesome. I'm actually rocking and rolling. I'm speeding up just like I wanted to, so I'm feeling really good there. So even not getting paid this week, I know that I'm going to get paid on all these projects next week. But I've also got Pumpkin Fest in downtown Franklin this weekend. So I've already been doing some extra work refinishing my show tables. I've got to refinish my barn door, and I've got to set up my walls and make sure that everything for my display is good to go. My wife's making a couple of signs for me, and I'm just doing some random stuff just to get ready. Pumpkin Fest is not one that I sell a lot of stuff at, so I'm really just prepared to talk to people, which is nice because then I don't have to worry about being on all the time for selling. I can show off my skateboard, show off my pens, and talk to people about their future projects, hand out a ton of cards, and eventually they end up coming back to me. In other news, my table saw stopped working just now. Which is awesome because I was on a roll, like I just said, and now I've got to stop and deal with this. I was going to come out here tonight and work on this table base and get this table done and ready for sanding tomorrow, and that's clearly not going to happen tonight. So instead of going inside and going to bed, I'm out here in the middle of the night doing surgery on my saw. But the way that I keep a good attitude when this kind of stuff happens, because this sucks, but it's just part of the job. When a tool goes down, I look at it as an opportunity to learn, and that is encouraging for me because what's going to happen is I'm going to take this thing apart and either not be able to get it back together or figure out that it needs to be professionally fixed or figure out what parts need to be replaced and figure out where I can get them first thing tomorrow morning so I can get right back to work. We'll find out, but again, anytime this kind of stuff happens, guys, to you, make sure that you use it as an opportunity to learn how these things work. I've taken apart so many of my hand tools, so many drills and stuff. I've fixed brushes on motors and stuff, things that I don't actually know how to do, but the tool is broken, so really I can't do much worse damage. If I take it apart and can't put it back together or I ruin something, I have to go get it professionally fixed anyway. But 9 times out of 10, I end up fixing it myself. So it's a really good learning experience, and it's a lot cheaper to do it yourself, even if you have to do it in the middle of the night. November 1st. November 2nd. I just realized I started recording this update back on October 1st, so it's already been over a month. It's kind of nuts, but it is what it is. So I am rocking and rolling right now. I've got 3 dining tables going on. I've got 2 more that I just started, and that display for Franklin Road all happening right now. So I'm on like a razor's edge as far as if I do one thing at the wrong time, I'm going to completely bind up this whole shop and not be able to get stuff done. So currently I've got 1 table in the finishing stage, 1 table that I built the base and set it off to the side. I'm building another base this afternoon, and then I'll be working on the tops either later this afternoon or first thing Monday morning. And in the meantime, once this stuff is out of the way, I'm going to work on the Franklin Road display and try and get that out to their store. I'm going to go ahead and just keep working on this. It is beautiful outside. It's been nice and cold today. When I went and delivered that swing earlier, it just was awesome. It's cool, it's crisp, I really like it. The humidity's finally getting down, which means it's not as cold feeling, which is awesome because we're supposed to have a nice cold weekend. So I've got the stove going, I've got the doors open, I've got fans blowing to keep the dust down, and it is great. It is in the mid-60s, and I'm just absolutely loving this. In the meantime, I wanted to show you something cool that I've been working on. So I've been experimenting with resin a little bit, and I actually did a resin pour a little while back on some of the Japanese plum I had and made this super cool bottle stopper. So this thing turned out really cool. It's got a nice clear void in the middle there with some wood just kind of suspended. It's not perfect, but I've never really done a resin pour on a live edge like that, and then I glued all these pieces together, so it's cool. I like it. One of the other super awesome experiments I tried to do is this. I found some really cool looking wood. I'm not sure if it's maple or what, but it's really super dense, and it was one single piece on a pallet. So I've saved it because I hate pallet wood, but every once in a while you find something like that. So I saved it, trimmed it down, got it real small, put it in a little mold, and then filled the mold, like it was about this tall, filled it with clear resin and automotive metal flake. Problem is, the resin seems to have soaked into the wood, and you can see it's really not that thick. I was going for like half resin and half wood, and it's like all wood now with no resin. So I went ahead and turned a pin, and it didn't turn out too bad. As you can see, I mean, you can see the segments, you can see where the resin is between everything. The wood is absolutely beautiful, whatever species this is, but it really, I think the only pink is like right there, as far as the metal flake goes, so. It turned out nice. I really like it, so I can't wait to turn more pins out of it. But I think next time I try to do a resin pour, I'm going to try to make sure I leave enough room that it can soak into the wood, seep into all the cracks, and still leave me some resin on top. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work, get this thing built, and get on to my weekend. So I've got a week and a half until I leave to go to Florida for Thanksgiving. That does not give me a lot of time because I've got 2 dining tables that I haven't even started. I've got a coffee table that's probably not going to get done before Thanksgiving. And then I've got 2 dining tables that are halfway done and 1 that is ready for delivery. So I am going to be delivering that 1 today, which will be nice. And then the other 2, the really giant big one and the smaller one that go with it, those are going to be ready as soon as I get the tops built. I've got another one I just finished the base, need to do the top for it and make some extensions. And then this Franklin Road stuff. Now this needs to get done ASAP, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and do it today. It was nice and bright and sunny yesterday, and I was supposed to paint a bunch of stuff and get this stuff done. And then I woke up with like a stomach bug and literally slept for about 22 hours yesterday. So I did not do a single thing, and now today it is pouring rain. And really gross and nasty. So I'm not going to get any painting done today. So my plan for the day, and probably tomorrow, is to go ahead and get the Franklin Road stuff taken care of, get those built and ready to go, and at least get these 2 delivered and then work on the 3rd piece as soon as these 2 are done. and then work on some of the dining table tops that need to be done. So the next couple days are going to be nothing but just build. So I'm going to kind of fast montage those because you guys don't need to watch me do all that. And I will update you as we start making some more deliveries. It's Friday. I'm in the same shirt I've been wearing for 3 days because I'm not getting hot and sweaty, so I just don't really care. It's just me and the dog working out here, and he smells worse than me right now. Today I am starting a project that I've been looking forward to a lot. It is a 13-foot long dining table. Now you've already seen the base. I'm starting the top today. The wood that I've got, since it's just crappy camphor, white pine, nothing really good. Some of the pieces, as they dried in my shop, did kind of twist a little bit and kind of warp to the side, so I can't just put these pieces straight together because by the time I get them straightened out, I might as well be using 2x4s. So I've actually cut them down, and what I'm going to do is change the design so that instead of being one long table with 2 breadboard ends, it's going to be one long table with 2 breadboard ends and a center breadboard that's going to keep everything together, keep it flat, and also attach, help attach to the base. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get this thing started. I'm going to get back to work on this, and I will check in if something else happens, but until then, just kind of watch and enjoy. Getting towards the end. It is Wednesday of the final week. I am leaving on Sunday to go to Florida. I'm trying to make all my deliveries by Friday. So we have a bench, we have a tabletop, we have another table that's on the wrong base, we have a table that's on the right base, we have a giant table that's not on a base because that base is out in my truck. I have a base over there that I built. And then I have a barn door in that corner by the saw and a haul tree that I am editing, let's say, because I mismeasured and the piece that's supposed to be up here I accidentally put down here like a dum-dum. So I'm going to change that, get that all finished up. But that's not all, folks. I've also got 6 chairs, 2 stools to build, and something else in a box that I don't even know what it is. I forgot. The downside is it has not gotten above 35 degrees in the past 3 days, which is not good for painting because I do my painting outside with an HVLP sprayer and water-based paint. I gotta figure something out paint-wise, so I might be in here just boringly painting pieces by hand, which will make me want to murder people. The coolest thing about today was that I walked out to find that my turning stock had decided it wanted to fall off the wall. So this shelf up here, you can kind of see where this board pulled away from the wall. And all that stuff decided to start falling. It's a lot of Osage orange and oak and real heavy stuff that I didn't want hanging over my head when I was reaching for clamps. So I've got that. I've started sorting it so you can kind of see all this stuff. And that's what I get to do this morning. So story of my life, my catchphrase might as well be, I'm way behind. I'm not really way behind, I'm just really like, this is not good. This is something that has to be done right now because I have no more room in my shop and I've got so much crap to do today, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna get started on that, go ahead and get that done, reposition all of my clamps, get this crap out of the way, and get back to work. Well, that's it for me. This is what I call accidental organizing. It's when I come out to my shop and some has happened that has just made me blow my whole day. So it's now just a little after lunchtime, but I got the box up, I got the clamps put away, I got some stuff put on the wall where it's reachable. This is not the kind of organization I had planned in my head when I'm planning on organizing this shop, but out of necessity, the really crappy way that I set a bunch of stuff up is starting to fail one by one, forcing me to then do at least a minor upgrade for now, and then maybe go back later and fix something. So, at least the tabletops are polyurethane, but I'm gonna get this piece worked on and then get these chairs built. Alright, so it's another late night. I totally forgot to record anything today, but I got a lot of stuff done. All the dining tables are mostly done. I went ahead and moved the big one out to my truck, and I've got, or to my trailer, sorry, and then I've got all the rest of these painted and ready to go. I've still got some work to do on this brown one tonight. I've got to make the extensions, so that's going to suck, but other than that, man, coming along. The chairs are looking good, the stools are looking good. I have to stain all of those tops tonight, so it's gonna be another late night for me, but I also got new heaters installed. I got one back there and one right up here. So the shop is actually nice and warm. It's about 75 degrees in here because of those heaters. It's about 75 degrees in there because of the stove. So that's great. It was a cold frickin' day. It was snowing and I could not actually paint outside because the paint was freezing as it was coming out of the gun. Or at least once it was on the chair, but it wasn't that cold. But it was freezing very quickly, and so I had to do everything in the shop with the propane heater going. So it's all over me, it's all in my nose, but it's done. So there's that. Coming to the end of it here. One day left. And with that, guys, I am done. So it is Saturday. I don't like working on Saturdays, but I did push back my final delivery to this morning because I wanted to make sure everything was absolutely perfect, and I wanted to alleviate a little bit of the stress from yesterday and not try to do everything on Friday. My assembly room is completely empty. My finish room is completely empty. New heaters are installed at 70 degrees in here, which the fish love. Unfortunately, the cat loves as well. My wood's loving it because it's all nice and dry and awesome and everything's doing well. I'm finally kind of in a good place mentally, although that fluctuates just as quickly as the rest of the business does. I'm getting ready to go on this vacation, and that's going to be great. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this push. Before I end this update, I wanted to just kind of give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes on why I do this. I do the Thanksgiving push for multiple reasons. One is obviously Thanksgiving is a really good time to sell dining tables. It's also a good time to work on your quality and to work on your pricing, because you can get booked out and you can charge more because it's more desirable, because more people want it. And also in charging more, you can do better quality stuff. You can learn new techniques, you can buy new tools, you can do what needs to be done. So this is a good time for my business before Thanksgiving as opposed to Black Friday and Christmas and all that, which are actually terrible for my business. I also know that I'm probably gonna be going out of town. Our families fluctuate back and forth and do the whole Christmas here, Thanksgiving there kind of thing every other year, but everybody's been having babies. So it's been go to Florida, go to Florida, go to Florida, and that's fine, but that means I hate traveling during traffic and I have a lot of people to go see, so it's going to be a lot of like 8-day trips, 10-day trips, you know, over the years, and so I need to be prepared for that. I need to have money set aside to pay the bills and take care of the business when I'm working and when I'm not, and get right back to it. So I like to do this kind of push because I can really just kind of get a nice influx of cash that's usually just enough to last through the vacation time. But when you're self-employed, that's how you have to pay for your vacation. So just on the projects in this update for my Thanksgiving push, I made nearly $15,000. That sounds great, except when you think about the fact that a little more than half of that has gone to paying for things, paying myself, paying for rent for my shop and my home. So a lot of that is gone. I am my business's biggest expense, but I'm self-employed. All of the other projects, save for 2, I actually did make good money on. So I'm gonna finish up, I'm gonna go to Franklin Road, drop off a bunch of skateboards and sell them a couple of pens before Black Friday, and then I am done. I'm gonna come home, take a nap, and go to Florida. Hey listen, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching these update videos. Comment below and let me know what you would like to see. I've had people ask, you know, how much money do you make on these projects, or how many can you sell? So I don't mind talking about that a little bit, but if there's anything else you want to see, some of the behind the scenes stuff, it's kind of hard to show you the behind the scenes in the client's house because I don't want to be complaining to a camera where they could hear me. That can be kind of hard, but I'm happy to show you all the other crap that goes on. So please, please, please let me know below what you guys want to see. Turn on those notifications so that you know when I post new update videos like this and the DIYs that are coming. I just posted a couple last month and I'm going to be posting a couple more around Christmas and the beginning of the new year. So go ahead and make sure that you have that notification on. And if you haven't, subscribe. Why? Because it's awesome, and because then people can know, hey, you like looking at really cool stuff on the YouTubes. Alright, if you're still watching this video at this point, I really don't know why because I'm just talking, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.